All right, welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us in our session about fun community builders in Padlet. If you want to keep introducing yourselves in the chat, that would be great. I'm going to put our resources for today in there. So as usual, I have all of our things here on a board you can reference later, and also feel free to copy anything. I'll show you how to do that in a minute if there's something you like and you want to share it in your classroom. Julie and I are joining here from San Francisco, so it's pretty early, but we are awake and ready to go and excited to show you some fun things today. So first, some quick introductions. Thanks for rejoining us if you've been to our past webinars. My name is Zareen Levien. I'm the Education Marketing Manager here. This is one of my former classes. So I taught for many years here in San Francisco and Oakland and got Padlet and other tools with students. And I just keep reflecting on how if I had the current Padlet today, way back then, all the even more fun things that we would have done. So hopefully you can make use of these with your students in the coming days. And Julia's here with us as well.
Yeah, hi, I'm Julia Carnes. I'm the product marketing manager at Padlet. And I'm not a former teacher, but I do live with many of them, and I try to infect them with the Padlet spirit and with many ideas. So I'm looking forward to these community builders that we're going to go over today so I can give them more fun ideas. And as we go through the session today, feel free to put your questions ideally in the Q&A, which you can find at the bottom of your Zoom panel. But I'll try to get to questions that come up in the chat. If you put them in the Q&A, I'm more likely to see them quickly. So looking forward to answering any questions you might.
Great. Well, let's get started. I'm excited about, as Julia said, infecting you all with more Padlet ideas, and we can spread the fun hopefully today. Okay, so here's our brief agenda here, just some quick intros and getting started. And then this is a little ambitious, but I have 8 fun community builders. We'll see if we get to all of them. Otherwise, I'll just show you what they are. And then Padlet TA, which is our new tool that I'll touch on briefly as well. And then some resources to close us out. Okay, so many of you already know what Padlet is. Just the 5-second version is on Padlet. You can make beautiful boards to promote collaboration, creativity, and inquiry on padlet.com. Make a free account and you can come to the make page, and here's where you would just try out some of the things that I'll show you today. You can make a blank board and very quickly get started with just a simple question, which can be your opener. Like, what is your favorite song? This is something I've done with middle schoolers actually. So you could just start like this, share a link with them, and that could be a simple opener that you try, but I'll show you lots of other ones too. But if you're just getting started, try something simple like that and let students kind of experiment with Padlet a little bit. When add post to a Padlet, we have many attachments under here. So you can access all of these things, images, songs, YouTube videos, AI images. So we encourage you and your students to try out some of those things as you get started using Padlet if you're newer to it. Okay, a couple of other things. If you see a Padlet that you like, especially one that I'm showing today, you can come on any Padlet. There's a remake button right here. So you can click on remake and then you can make a copy of Padlet. So if there's any Padlets that you like and you want to make a copy of, feel free to do that as we're going along today. And the other thing the other kind of setting that I want to show you in Padlet is under here, if you click on once you're logged in, if you create account and you go to your user settings here, we have something called beta features. These are features that are about to go live, but we launched them just for our beta users first, but anyone can be a beta user. So if you'd like to turn that on, you do that. You don't have to turn that on. You'll still get all the features. It'll just be maybe a week or two later than when the beta features come out. I wanted to point that out today because there's a fun new feature that's about translating Padlets, and that's in beta. So if you'd like to try that out, you can turn on beta by clicking on your little avatar and then going to beta. And then even with any of the Padlets that I'm showing you right now, you can click on the 3 dots. You can come to the language right here. And here, we're really excited about this. We know we have so many international users. You can come to language and then click on the language that you want. For example, I just changed it to Spanish. And now all the text, except for some of the images, but all the texts will be translating into Spanish. There we go. And so this will be useful even as people add posts, they'll get translated. So it can be a way to interact with others in a different language. Okay, I'm going to put it back to English, but feel free to try that out on your own Padlet as you go. And for those of you who just joined, I'm going to put back the resources in the chat so you can follow along with us. Okay, so let's get started with the first one here. We often have a little Padlet that gets started with where you're from, and this time I thought we'd do it on a map. So I'm going to put this one into the chat here. So if you wouldn't mind coming to this Padlet and coming to the plus and adding a post where you're from or where you are right now in the world. So I'm going to come here and I'm in San Francisco. And so I'll choose the location first, and then add kind of attachment, or I can add some text about San Francisco. So say it's a sunny day here. Um, and later I'll see the Golden Gate Bridge. Our office is near the Golden Gate Bridge, but I'm not quite there yet. But let me come over here. I can search for an image if I want to with the image search or an AI image. Let's just do a regular image. Bridge. Oh, and I see the map behind me is updating as people add posts to it. There we go. I'll publish mine. Oh, wow, this is fun. So we can already see some people in different parts of the world. I see a few in the US here. Wow, beautiful pictures. Oh, it's so fun to see little posts popping up here. I see one in France. Beautiful. So go ahead and add your posts there. So again, this is something that you could do with students. All you do is when you make a Padlet, choose the map format. And then you could ask where students' families are from, or you could ask another question, maybe somewhere they want to visit, or have students share anything on a map that you're studying about or something about themselves. Oh, this was cool, actually. A teacher that I was working with last week teaches computer science. And so she had her students post on a map interesting technological discoveries in the countries of their heritage. So some students were from Europe or from India or from China, and they looked up some technological inventions from in places that their families were from. I thought that was a cool way to use maps. Wow, this is so cool. Lots of folks here posting. Thanks for participating. Okay, we'll keep us moving because we've got lots of other fun things to do here. But go ahead and keep posting over there. If you'd like to post more than one on any of these, feel free to do that as well. All right, so our next one, this is a collection of polls that I thought would be fun. So I'll put this link in the chat next. So here are our polls. And I'm going to show you lots of openers today. You might want to use them all with your students, but you also just might want to choose one to get started with or spread them out across the days. I was also thinking for those of us in the US, at the end of the school year, this might be some fun things you can do in the final days when we're kind of closing out. Okay, so just really quickly before I go into the polls, I'll just show you how you can add a poll. So if you click on the plus sign and you come to the plus 13, we have polls as one of the attachments right here. And then you can write your own question. We have a kind of a simple poll version. So there's 4 options and it's multiple choice. We're thinking about expanding our poll functionality in the future, but for now, this is the way it works. If you have an idea for a poll right now, you can actually add a poll to this Padlet as well. You can just come to the plus sign and add your own question for us. And also, as you're completing this poll, so you might come here and vote on things. You can also add a comment if there's another option that I didn't provide that would help answer this question better. So you can come along here and vote on all of these. And then it's going to show you the results, but I'll go ahead and show the results on all of these and see how we're doing. Another fun thing about polls is as people are voting, it'll continue to update. So I'm going to display all of these, and you'll see as people vote, it'll continue to update these percentages. I'm really excited to see actually, oh, vanilla is in the lead here for ice cream. Cats and dogs are often very neck and neck, so that'll be interesting to see how that shakes out. We've got a lot of action adventure fans. Ooh, soccer fans. I'm a big soccer fan as well. I thought for sure basketball was going to, but looking like soccer is in the lead so far. So this could be a fun thing that you do with your class. You could have some specific questions to things about your school, about your class, about preferences for field trips or read aloud books. So it can be a fun way to get everyone's opinions. Okay, I see some people are still joining, so I'm just going to put our landing page back in the chat here. This is so fun to see all these numbers moving. All right, and I like additional options here that people have added. Nice. Okay, so those are a bunch of polls. Feel free to keep voting there. We're going to move on to AI animals next. This is good. We're getting through a lot of these quickly. Maybe I'll slow down a little bit. Actually, maybe I'm a little too excited here. This next one, we're going to play with some AI images. So this is one of the attachment types that you can access from our plus sign. I'll put this one in the chat here. Um, and I'll show you one thing on here too, actually. So you can see this post box looks like our other Padlets. It has all the attachments here. And I have kind of my standard text that says subject, write something fantastic. I can customize this whole box for my students by clicking on plus fields right here. So if I click here, and that's because I'm the owner of the Padlet. And here I can choose what I want the subject to say. So here I'm going to change this to animal names. So I'll save that. So now you can see my default text says animal names. And then I'm going to go to attachments and I'm going to turn off all the attachments. So I'm going to come over here and say none. And I'm going to say AI image is my only attachment type. And then I'm also going to say that that's required. Sometimes this helps focus in students on exactly what you want them to do, and also just helps them from being distracted or having difficulty finding the attachment type that you want them to use. So in this case, I want to make an AI image. So you can come to the plus sign down here. On this Padlet, I also have sections. So you can click on the plus sign here if you want to add something to this section. And what I'd love you to do is try making a what did I say, crossbred animal. So two different animals smushed together. So I made a frog bunny. Let's see what else we could make. How about a kangaroo? And I'm using the AI image generator, and you can put anything in here. So you can just do a regular image. I'm going to do a kangaroo fish. How about? I wonder what will come up with that. Sometimes they work really well, and sometimes you'll get some weird things, especially with crossbred animals. But let's see what it comes up with. So it takes about 30 seconds to make. Oh, interesting. I wonder if this is supposed to be the pouch of a kangaroo on a fish. Not totally sure, but I'm going to put my animal name in here. Good. And then the one down here, I'm going to drag this one up here. This is a bonus challenge down here. This is my image right here, these unicorns in a boat. And so my challenge down here is for you to try to recreate this image. So you can keep putting images in either place, but down here, I'm wondering if you want to try recreating the image that I made. This could be a fun activity to practice prompting. So if you want, or if you're teaching another language too, practice descriptive language. So you can put some images together and have people try to make your same image. Wow, these are really amazing. I love these. Wow, I need to take a closer look at this one. Oof, beautiful. I think my cat would like that one. Oh, I see some really interesting combinations here. So AI images can be really fun. We've done some other icebreakers in the past. Wow, this is a two-headed animal. Very interesting. Um, you can use AI images for all kinds of things. They can be fun activities like this, where you're just playing with what it can create. But it can also be something that's more academically related. You can ask students to make images for something you're studying, like if you're studying about the American Revolution or about I don't know, if you're studying about the rainforest or about the water cycle, you could make images about that and have students experiment with it. We recently had a teacher post about she was using Padlet with first graders and having students, they were all studying penguins. So students all used AI images and real images to say some things they'd learned about penguins. And just a reminder that students of any age can use Padlet. And this feature in particular is good for younger students because it's so visual. So give it a try, whatever grade you teach. I'm really enjoying this one. I'll have to come back and look and see, make more than one if you want, if you have some more ideas. Okay, this next one, I'll come over here, is to post about a favorite food from your family. So another thing that I think is fun when you're doing community builders with students is asking them something to share something about themselves or about their family. You could do things like family trees, or like we did on the map, something about where you're from or a favorite place. Um, and everyone loves food, right? So this could be a fun one to do. My dad is from India, so this is a treat that my mom used to make when I was growing up, called Mysore pak. So if you want to add your own, come down here and you can see I've customized this box a little bit, like I talked about earlier. You can do that by going to fields if it's your Padlet. So I have right here the name of the food. Another food my mom used to make a lot was English trifle. You can see I have a bit of a sweet tooth. And I customize these as well. So I just have kind of the image related options here. So I'm going to search for this dessert, English trifle, try to find one that looks like what she used to make. I think this one's pretty good. I'll go for this picture. Um, and then you can say something about why you like this food. I love the different layers. And of course, anything sweet. Do I have any other fellow sweet tooths out there, I wonder? You can let me know in the chat, or you can post something on the board here. And then if you want, you can say where your food is from, if it's from somewhere special. Just gonna check that. Okay, good. I do have the right settings on here. I'll give you a moment. I know some people are still posting some AI images. I'm going to take a quick look back over here. Lots of really cool ones here. If you think of a food you'd like to share with us, oh, nice, tuna fish casserole, classic. If you think of another food you'd like to post here, um, this could even be something that you pair with an in-person activity. I know that sometimes we've had activities where students bring in snacks and bring in something that's a favorite snack of theirs. They could share that on the Padlet. Um, Another thing that's really fun is if you're doing something in class, to take pictures of that and put that on a Padlet. So I've had a lot of teachers say that you can have it on your phone. You can use it on a browser, or you can get our Padlet app. It's free to download on all the platforms. So it can be a way that you as a teacher document fun things that are happening in class. If you're having a class party, if you're having a field trip, if you're doing some group work or group projects, that can be a fun way to remember what you did, to take pictures and post it all on a Padlet. We sometimes do some fun activities at Padlet with all our employees, and we do the same thing. We take pictures and we put them on a Padlet and then have them saved for later. Great. Oh yeah, thank you. I think I had the access wasn't good on that Padlet. Thanks for the assistance there, Julia. I'm going to put our main page back in the chat if you've just joined us. Wow, these look delicious. I'm excited to explore all of these foods in the future. All right, I'm going to keep us going. We have a few more things to get into. This next one I'm going to talk about is on Sandbox. So I'm just going to show you quickly. I'm going to come back to Padlet. If you're newer to Padlet, or if you haven't used Padlet as recently, we've been on board so far, and that's the kind of traditional Padlet that we've used for a long time. I'm now going to show us Sandbox, and Sandbox is a whiteboard tool that's really flexible and fun. It's similar to Google Jamboard if you used to use that. And so in the next one, I'm going to take us to, if I can get back to my page here, these games are on Sandbox. So I'll put this direct link into the chat next. So here you can see you have your tools on the right-hand side. You can add all of our attachments by clicking on this plus sign right here. You still have access to everything. Or you can click on one of the tools that's already up here, like images is already here. You have some shapes. So my first question here is, what's one thing you would bring if you were trapped on a desert island? So I'm going to come over to images. I think I'm going to go with a guitar. So I'm going to choose my image, check it in here. Oh, I see some people drawing. That's super fun. Similar to my other Padlets, I have some setting here. So I can turn on and off cursors. I'm going to turn them off for now. I can also select which tools I allow. I'm going to allow all of them for right now, but that's another place where you can customize what kind of collaboration you want to do on a board. If you just want students to use Post-its or just images or that kind of thing, you can do that. Oh, nice. I see. Oh, matches. That is a good idea. Makes making that fire a lot quicker, doesn't it? Oh, I see some pets and some friends, some refreshments. Looking good. Over here on the left-hand side, one thing that's also different about Sandbox is that you can have multiple cards or multiple pages. So if you come down here to the next one, um, so over here, this is a game that we sometimes play. If what I often do with students is have them put their name or their initials, if you want, on here, and then as you ask a question, you can change these topics. So do you love or hate the beach? Do you love or hate artificial intelligence, as I put it? I think I'm mostly positive, but maybe a little bit over here because it has some problems. Um, and you can put different topics and have students debate on if they love or hate something. A similar game over here, slightly different. You can ask some questions on have you ever done something? Have you ever been outside of the country? Have you ever eaten dessert for breakfast? So you can have some fun with that one. Similar idea. You could have students add a post-it with their name or initials on here and move themselves around as you ask different questions. Um, Another thing I wanted to mention, when you're making new cards in a sandbox, this is fairly new as well. You can start from a template right here. So this will pop up whenever you make a new sandbox. And then we have lots of options to get started. So this is another way that you can just make your own icebreakers or community builders. So there's lots of fun things in here, especially under activities. You could have, for example, a question of the day. And that's a quick way to ask a question. Like, how are you feeling today? And have students just come in here and use some of the attachments to get started. Oh, nice. Okay, I see a lot of fun participation on these. Beautiful. All right, I'm going to take us, I think we have time for maybe one or two more. Um, so I'm going to take us into karaoke. This is from our friend Carl Hooker. He did a session with us last year, and we're probably going to do one with him later this year as well. Um, and he made up this game where you can make AI images based on songs. So I've made a bunch here, and you can go ahead and guess in the comments what it is. So if you think you know what song this is, these are all song titles, but creative interpretations of them. So if you want to guess there, and right now I have moderation turned on. So as you guess, you won't see each other's, and I'll just show you where that is, except you can see it on my screen. But under settings, if you'd like to turn on moderation, you can turn moderation on to manual, and that means you'll have to approve all the posts and comments as they come in. So I will let you guess on there for a minute and then I'll start approving them and you can see each other's guesses. And while we're doing that, I will come back to our sandbox and see what else we have on here. Lots of fun things. Some feelings here. Oh, great. And so we have some different templates. Great. Okay, I'm going to come back to our karaoke and I'm going to change this to my moderation to turn it off so they'll just come up right away and I can start proving these. Wow, we have a lot of great guesses here. A lot of people correct on this first one. Walk like an Egyptian is correct. Purple rain is correct for this next one. Brown-eyed girl. Wow, you guys are good at this. I thought this would be more difficult. Some of these are a little more difficult, I think. What do we got here? Yellow submarine, very nice. And again, you can have students make their own AI images for this too if you want. I see some people posting their own ideas. This is great. You can also do this. We've done this sometimes with movies, or sometimes you can make up some kind of mashup where you put a cartoon character in a movie. You can do a lot of really fun things with AI images. So encourage you to brainstorm ideas or have students make up a prompt for using AI images as well. Okay, moving along. Um, this one is an activity that I did with some middle schoolers recently. So I'll put that direct link in the chat. So here I have two images that are somewhat similar, and you have to guess which one is the real image and which one is the AI image. So I'll show you them up close a little bit. So one of these is a real image, and one of these is an AI image. So come here to the poll and you can vote either choice B is real or choice A is real. So I'll let you kind of vote on those. So each of them is a pair. And this was a fun way to have students start thinking critically about AI and about AI images. Um, and then over here, if you want to add to this column, I had students do this. How do you know and how did you determine which is the AI image? So you can come here to the plus and you can say, I know one giveaway is AI isn't very good at hands and fingers, sometimes gets the wrong number. So if you had something like that, that might be a giveaway, or you can put in other ways that you know. And this can be also what students share with each other, how they critically think about AI and how they can be kind of intelligent consumers of what they see and be aware that many images now are AI generated. And then as a supplement to this activity, this is what I did with some students recently. I'm going to click into this. I made a sandbox where they could make their own AI images and do it each on a separate card. So they could kind of build it on their own. And then at the end, we kind of voted on each other's. So I had them come here, write their name, and I made many copies of this so each student could write their name on one. They could add their own AI images and real images, and then they could add their own poll to ask people which one was real or not. And I'll just remind you again, with all of these resources, we have this remake button up here. So if you like any of these, you can take them away by clicking on the remake and having your own copy and change them, of course. Okay, let's see how we're doing here. Oh, we have controversy on some of these. I love it. Um, So it's always fun to see the answers. So I will tell you really quickly which one is AI. Some of these are hard, right? This second one is the AI generated image. Actually, I should say it the other way because the poll asks the other way. This is the real image with this guy having his hamburger with his pink hoodie on. So choice A was the real image. Right here, choice A again is the real image. Oh, actually, I have a lot of A's in here. Here, choice A is again the real image. Um, Number four, choice B is the real image. And this last one, oh, a lot of people got this one right. Choice B was the real image on that one as well. Thanks for playing along with us on that. Okay, this next one is a little, I think I'm going to skip this one, but I'll just show you what it is. I'm just because we're running out of time. If you have students who use tablets or phones, or even if you're doing a PD with adults, this can be a fun one. You can have people just take their phone and post an image that they have on their in their life up on a Padlet. And I have some quick instructions for how to do that. You all Padlets have a QR code. I put a big one here, but you can also display it when you share. Come to QR code, and you can pin it to the header really easily like that if you want to have people use a QR code to access something. So you're welcome to do this one if you want to do it really quick before I move us on. But this is just share an image. So it's a nice way for people to get to know each other. There's also, as I mentioned, a Padlet app. You don't need the app to use it on your phone. You can use it on a browser also, but it works a little better and looks a little better if you get the app. So that can be a fun opener with phones or tablets. Okay, the last one that I wanted to show you is on Padlet TA. So if you're not familiar with Padlet TA, actually, I'll show you from Padlet. You can click right here on TA. So Padlet TA or Teaching Assistant is our brand new product that allows you to create all kinds of things. You can make lesson plans, presentations. So here's an example. It'll give you some suggestions as you get started. Oops. Objective. Let's see. San Francisco. So I can make a lesson plan here. And very quickly, it'll make a lesson plan. So you can see it's not outputting a Padlet, it's just outputting a document. But very quickly, I can make lesson plans, worksheets, presentations. And so I encourage you to just come over here and play around with this. And I thought of using it today because it could make some openers as well. So for example, I could come here and make a people hunt bingo. I don't know if you all have ever done that in your class. It's something we used to do in my class at the beginning of the year or sometimes at the end of the year. So it can make a fun opener like this. So here it made a little grid for me of different things, and students can ask each other who likes pizza, who plays a sport, and they can check off those boxes and mill around. So it can make some fun worksheets that you do in groups like this for an opener, or it can make individual practice if you want to practice homework or things like that. If you want to export this, You can export it to a PDF or a Google Doc if you want to edit it further. And then that makes it really easy to print. Um, so encourage you to check out some of those things for an opener. If you have another worksheet kind of opener, you can come to Padlet TA and it'll make it for you. And then I linked that one in here, and then I also linked in another one under classroom activities. Uh, you can ask for ideas for classroom activities as one of our categories. Um, and then it'll show you some fun activities you can do live in the class. So this is just another tool that we are experimenting with, trying to make teachers' lives easier and allow you to make more personalized and creative content. This is a free tool, so we encourage you to come and check it out. Okay, we are quickly running out of time. It's hard to believe. Julie, are there any questions you want to highlight for the group before we do our closing resources?
I don't think so. We got one question at the beginning about the format you used to set up your presentation from the beginning, and I was explaining that, in fact, that was a Padlet slideshow.
Yes, thank you. Yes, thanks for calling that out. So slideshow is built in the play button right here. So it makes it really easy. If you have a Padlet, you don't have to do any formatting to set this up. It's just going to show you all the information in a slideshow format. Okay, our closing resources. Thanks for sticking with us. First of all, we really appreciate your feedback. I always read the feedback and it's always helpful to try to make these sessions better, or if you have a particular topic you want us to go over in a future session. So it's really quick feedback form. Would love for you to come and fill this out just with any quick notes you have for us today. And then I have some other information here. I'm going to go back to my slideshow. We often get this question about, is Padlet free? And yes, it is. 3 Padlet boards or sandboxes. A sandbox counts as one of your Padlets, but it can have up to 20 cards. You can make that for free, and if you'd like more, you can check out our subscriptions. Padlet TA is also free, and you can do as much as you want in Padlet TA. We will always have a free version of Padlet TA, just like Padlet, and it's free for now, unlimited. It's also going to be included in all our paid plans, at least through the next school year. So you know that you can use it as much as you want. And we're still kind of figuring out what we're going to do with this product, but we're hoping to add a lot more to it and make it better and better for you all to use. And then I have a link to subscriptions here if you'd like to check that out. Um, we have a PD 101 course. This is just a asynchronous course that you can try. It takes about 1 hour and you get a certificate at the end. So encourage you to go deeper into Padlet if you'd like to. Um, and we have lots more sessions coming up. We will be posting the registration for those signups soon for the next sessions, but we'll have some in June coming up if you'd like to learn even more about Padlet. Um, Thank you so much for joining us. We accomplished a lot today. Thanks for all the participation. And again, feel free to copy any of these. I hope you can use some of these with your students. There's our resource board right there. And we hope to see you at the next one. Thanks so much for coming, everyone. Okay, see you later.